The last thing that we want to be true about us is that we are considered fools. Foolish people lack common sense and good judgment. And foolishness leads to ruin and shame in our lives. Wisdom, on the other hand, leads to success and peace. A book in the Bible is dedicated to wisdom. It's called the Book of Proverbs. Proverbs helps you to develop practical wisdom for living in God's world. The Proverbs in the biblical scriptures are not just good advice. They are God's invitation to learn wisdom from previous generations. So when we talk about wisdom, we must start with King Solomon. He was the wisest man in the ancient world and wrote the majority of the Proverbs. The Lord appeared to Solomon during the night in a dream, and God asked, "Ask for whatever you want, and I will give it to you." Solomon said, "I'm a little child, and I don't know how to carry out my duties, so give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people, and to distinguish between right and wrong. Since you've asked for this, and not for long life or wealth for yourself, nor have you asked for the death of your enemies, but for discernment, I will give you a wise and discerning heart, so that there will never have been anyone like you, nor will there ever be. I'll give you what you've not asked for as well, both wealth and honor." So, God gave Solomon wisdom and a very great insight. He was wiser than anyone else, and his fame spread to the nations. Solomon spoke over 3,000 proverbs and wrote over 1,000 songs. He also collected knowledge on plants and animals, and kings of the nations heard of his wisdom and came to listen to what he had to say. In Proverbs chapter 9, verses 1 through 6, it speaks of wisdom as if wisdom were a lady, and it says this: "Wisdom has built her house. She has hewn out its 7 pillars. She has prepared her meat and mixed her wine. She has also set her table. She has sent out her maids, and she calls from the highest point in the city. All who are simple, come in here, she says to those who lack judgment. Eat my food and drink the wine I have mixed. Leave your simple ways, and you will live. Walk in the way of understanding." She says, leave your simple ways, and you will walk in the way of insight. By this book, the book of Proverbs found in the Bible, you too can gain practical wisdom for your life. Wisdom will save you from wicked men and adulterous women. Wisdom will protect you and watch over you. And wisdom builds good homes, and understanding makes it strong. Proverbs contains almost 900 short sayings on life-related topics. There is wisdom about fathers and mothers, anxiety and worry, truth and lying, anger and peace, good company and bad company, and dozens of other topics that point out positive virtues and negative ones. So, let's take a quick look at a few examples. They pretty much speak for themselves and need very little explanation. Here's the first. "But a man who commits adultery has no sense. Whoever does so destroys himself. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. The righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. Anxiety weighs down the heart, but a kind word cheers it up. Hatred stirs up conflict, but love covers over all wrongs. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. And then finally, whoever robs their father and drives out their mother is a child who brings shame and disgrace. Now, here's something I want you to understand. Proverbs are not promises. They are not 100% guarantees. If you follow them, things will more than likely go well. Wise people tend to do better, and things tend to work out for them. But there are exceptions, and Job is an example. So, that brings us to this question. Just where does someone find the humility to seek wisdom? And that brings us to our key spiritual insight. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Listen again to Proverbs, the first chapter in verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. The fear of the Lord. Now, that's not about terror. It's not like the so-called gods backed by spiritual darkness that demand to be abused or face retribution. Nor is it the fear that you might have from an over-demanding parent. No, it's a healthy sense of reverence and awe for God. Embracing God's definition of right and wrong. It's honoring God, our Creator, and discovering practical wisdom. And may you be wise and see many good days.